Yeah, so Karate Videos and More sends me a comment last night, and I'm going over my comments as I read all your comments. And thank you very much for watching, like and subscribe. There is one thing that he did show us that does bring us to, as small business owners, where to go for the money. If we can't get it in the EIDL, people, I want to bring you to a watering hole here. And that's what we're going to do. We are going to today take our mind off of the EIDL. We're going to, I mean, we'll go over a little bit, but let's take our mind completely off the EIDL and say, okay, wait a minute. If I can't get the EIDL, what can I do to make up for it? So here we go. So he started off with the unemployment. He goes here and says, okay, this won't affect your benefits or income. It starts on September 6th, so it's actually started right now. So FEMA went from 5 to 6 weeks from July 26th. Okay, this includes, here we go. Right here's where I want you to look at. This includes self-employed and gig workers. That's where we're going to business owners now. Let's think about this. Unemployment includes self-employed and gig workers. So if you cannot go after the EIDL loans or PPP loans while you are collecting unemployment. However, if you don't go after those loans because that substitutes in place of the unemployment, it's basically taking a loan to pay your employees or yourself instead of just taking the grant. Unemployment, you do not have to pay back. Here we go. Yeah, you can see where I'm going here, can't you? So they includes self-employed and gig workers. Say that's you. We go to the next screenshot. Where are we at? That's $600 a week. Starts September 6th. So FEMA went from 5 to 6 weeks from July 26th. So it's $600 a week, and it is $600 a week. So what's today's date? Today is, say we're going into October 1st. So say you're on October 1st. October 1st, $600 a week. And there's how many weeks in October? Say there's 4 in October, 4 in November, say 5 in December. So that's 4, 4, and 5. 4, 4, and 5 is 9, 13. 13 times 6 is 13 weeks times 600 would be 18. That'd be $7,800 in unemployment benefits if you were to collect that all the way up until the end of the year. $7,800. That is like a grant because you don't have to pay it back. So with that said, taking our mind over, if this is going to be eligible for the self-employed, independent contractors, small business people, maybe it would be time to jump ship on the EIDL and take the $7,800, take the $600 a week. See what else they got. And this includes self-employed, gig workers, and also extends short-term compensation and receive benefits if partially laid off. Eligible unemployment if you are unable to work due to COVID. Remember, your health insurance is preferred if you are laid off. You still get your stimulus check and your dependents, which are eligible. So you can get another $1,200 for your stimulus check. So that's $1,200 on top of that $7,800. Now you're looking at $9,000. We're close to $10,000 there, people. We are close to $10,000 without having to pay a single back. Now, if you got 2 kids, you're at $10,000. So here's, yep, you know where I'm going. And I'm saying that should you take unemployment instead of the EIDL? Well, we're going to keep going and find out. Okay, so here's where the 10% remaining, okay, here's the 100% of the rest of the PPP money. We are looking at 10% of it is going to sole proprietors and self-employed and loans under 2K and 10 or fewer employees. So 10% of the remaining balance of, I think it's $130 billion, which is $13 billion, 10% of that is $13 billion, will go to the small businesses as far as the PPP loans go. So you can take the 10%, say you can get $10,000 from that, and you got to pay it back only at 1%. You're still having to pay it back. 30% go nonprofit, and 50% go to, say you got a 1 PPP loan already. 50% of that will go to getting you another PPP loan. And then the other PPP, 30% go to nonprofit organizations. 50% of it are going to go to less than 200 employee businesses and that have seen a 25% reduction in revenue over the last year. That should be pretty easy to meet for people. So here we go. Now we have now I want you to notice this in part one of the state relief. $238 billion in state relief. State relief is when the state gets money and sets it aside for grants and loans and stuff like that. So state relief is kind of, you could see grants coming through in states and local relief. So there's a lot of money in here with the state and local relief grants that could apply in, or state and local relief benefits that could end up applying over to the grants, depending on how your state chose to spend their money. Underneath this, it says small businesses. $50 billion in grants to small businesses. Guys, they're not saying idle there, but in a previous video we had seen it has said $50 billion idle. So that could be idle grants. But here we are again, you and me, once again, 5 months later, stuck on, is that our idle grant? Do we do that again? Do we go through that? I have worked my tail off trying to get that money for us, and you have too. We have all pitched in 100% to wonder if that $50 billion is our idle grant, and will we get that? We can keep wondering. Or we could just go collect the unemployment and say, okay, if you don't want to pay us through the idle grant that you promised us, pay us through unemployment. It's going to make what? It'll make the unemployment records look a lot lower. The money's all in one big pot right now. One way or another, money is money. It's coming from the federal government for this or that. It doesn't matter what you're getting it for. It matters if you're getting it or not. So to go after the idle again for $50 billion that we might not get, or do we shoot for the unemployment, which we should get? I'm kind of on the verge of jumping over to the unemployment thing here. But that small business there says $50 billion in grants to small business, but it doesn't mention the idle, just to let you know. So we go to the next one. I'm kind of out of the focus there. Okay, so here's the idle right here. The live venue operator grants, they get grants. Grants will be opt-in or opt-out, which means if you apply for the loan, you opt into the grant. It's kind of like you did before. You applied for the loan. Well, opt into the grant. In or out. Do you want the grant or not? Who would say no? Why do they even put that there? We put a box there in case you want the grant. Really? Okay. Doesn't appear to get any more money, though, for grants. So he's showing the idle here, but he's not showing a number, which is why we have to go back to that other number that we just saw there, the $50 billion in small grants, because I'm pretty sure that's the number for that package. Not 100%. But I know on the last one that we saw was a $50 billion for idle. I don't understand why that would just say $50 billion in small grants and not be for the idle, even though, hey, I don't understand half the things that the government's deciding to do right now. So let's say if it does, and you can apply for the loan or opt into the grant. So you can apply for a loan or opt into the grant. It doesn't appear to get more money, though, for grants. Do we leave the idle? Do we leave the idle and go for $600 a week starting October 1st? Where money can be had because you are small business, self-employed, or a gig worker. And do you just go for that? And do we go for that? And then if the idle comes around and we see, hey, there's the idle grant. The idle grant is back for sure, 100%. I'm opting out of the unemployment and I am going for the grant. I honestly think, people, that is probably the best way to go. Give me your comments and like and subscribe. But give me your comments. Let me know what you think. Do you want to still keep going for the idle, or do you want to push for or do you maybe just go for unemployment? Like and subscribe. And once again, meet Kevin. Thank you very much for all your diligence and hard work. You rock. You're the hardest working guy out there in the stimulus update package program, one of the most influential financial gurus of our time. And thanks again for this awesome graph that you draw us up and give us a picture perfect, a very good picture on what's going on. We're hands-on people, and we appreciate Meet Kevin for everything he does. We still want to prove Meet Kevin wrong and get our 10K idle grant, but from what I'm seeing right now, I think he is showing us another way. Like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.